Coming up on The Shield, the Chicagoland area was hit by one of the worst snowstorms that we have seen in many years. We will have the details on what you can expect for the upcoming week as well.
Is it blizzard or is it a blizzard? That is the question.
We definitely saw a significant snowfall over the weekend, especially here on the Valparaiso campus. We have some snowfall totals here. We will dive deeper into those later on in the newscast. This edition of The Shield starts right now.
Thank you all for joining us on The Shield. I'm Cody.
And I'm Aimee Heyden. The National Weather Service issued a blizzard warning on Sunday. Over the weekend, we saw a lot of snowfall, but was it really a blizzard? Lynette Grant has the answer to that question.
Biggest snowstorm of the season. When all was said and done, the majority of northern Illinois and northwest Indiana saw over 1 foot of snow. Reports of 1.5 feet were common in localized areas, and a train spotter here at the university reported 17.5 inches of snowfall from Saturday night through Monday afternoon. In addition to the major snowfall accumulations, we saw blizzard conditions across the region. However, a blizzard is not defined as a large snow event. According to the National Weather Service, in order for it to be considered a blizzard, a storm must drop visibility down to below 1/4 mile and must have wind speeds greater than 35 miles per hour for 3 consecutive hours. Because so much snow fell in this long-duration storm, cars were snowed in their parking spots and streets were very treacherous to drive. The university canceled all campus operations Sunday afternoon through 12 p.m. on Monday. All morning classes were canceled Monday as well, in an effort to clear walkways and streets around campus.
Now, some people really enjoyed this snowfall, and other people are anxiously awaiting the arrival of spring. However, this blizzard is one that I truly will enjoy.
5, 4, 3,
Reporting for The Shield, I'm Lynette Grant.
Thank you, Lynette, for that. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather have the blizzard she had too instead of the one we saw over the weekend.
No, absolutely. And you know, for a lot of students, it was really nice to have that extra day. I mean, coming off having a 4-day week, you know, prior for MLK Day, and then coming back and many students not having class again on Monday, kind of really made the week even that much more kind of exciting being back here.
It was too, and it was nice. You saw a lot of kids, or a lot of students go back to being kids a little bit, building the snowmen as you saw in Lynette's pack, to also, you know, having snowball fights. I know me and my friends, we went outside and had a big snowball fight. It was fun to, you know, even though you're in college and it's like you're supposed to be all grown up and everything, still got to have that like being a kid again.
Yeah, I mean, many times you hear these students talk about how they miss their snow days and they're not having class or school, and for many students that actually was the case on Monday. But as we turn now over to Storm Shield Chief Meteorologist Rachel Duensing, she has a look here inside the weather studio at what we saw over this weekend, as well as what we have to expect to come for the rest of this week. Rach?
That's right, Ricky. We did see significant snowfall, and as you guys said, a lot of students enjoyed the half of day off of classes. That was because we definitely had some significant snowfall, as I mentioned before. So looking at some current totals, Oak Lawn was one of the higher reports at around 21.5 inches. LaPorte, Indiana, not too far behind them though. Nearly 21 inches fell there. 19.3 inches fell at O'Hare Airport, and then here in Valparaiso at the university, 17.5 inches. One of the lower spots at around 8.8 inches in Kankakee, Illinois. So definitely a very significant snowfall here in Northwest Indiana and portions of Illinois as well. And we will have to keep an eye on yet another snow system for tomorrow and even this weekend. Coming up, we will have more news and weather for you, and even sports coming up after the break.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's a better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it... If Daniel won't change your mind, baby, 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 baby,
broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music, on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
For over 100 years, VU has trusted the torch for reliable and accurate accounts of campus happenings. And with an end of a century, we would like to say thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Velpo.
We have been covering stories that will impact you both in print and online. For Players Spotlight and next week events, to the opinions you have, count on us as Valpo's most reliable source for campus happenings. 4-time winner of College Weekly of the Year, The Torch, home of the truth, celebrating 100 years of excellence in journalism.
We are aware of the video purporting to show that Jordanian First Lieutenant Moaz Khashoggi has been murdered by the terrorist group ISIL. The intelligence community is working to confirm its authenticity. The United States strongly condemns ISIL's actions, and we call for the immediate release of all those held captive by ISIL. We stand in solidarity with the Jordanian people.
And welcome back to The Shield. That was State Department spokesperson Jen Psaki giving a statement after a video was posted Tuesday showing a Jordanian military pilot being burned alive in a cage. Muta al-Kazabi was captured after being ejected from crashing his F-16 on December 24th. Having taken part in U.S.-led coalition airstrikes near ISIS de facto capital Raqqa, Syria, President Obama said Tuesday that if the video proves to be authentic, it was just one more indication of the viciousness and barbarity of this organization.
And officials have confirmed measles cases in 14 states across the country. New cases in Arizona have people worried, especially after the Super Bowl, for fear of further exposure. As Mary Maloney reports, officials say there is a real fear of wider spread of the disease, but no need for panic.
Measles is the most infectious disease known to man.
New measles cases in Arizona have put public health officials on the offensive. Dr. Robert England advises people who have come in contact with the disease but aren't immunized
To not go out in public or to wear a mask if they absolutely have to.
The measles virus can spread through the air, and that fact is causing worries about events with large crowds, like Sunday's Super Bowl in Phoenix. At this point, officials say the chance of contracting the virus is still small.
If you were comfortable going into a crowded situation last week, you should be just as comfortable today.
This is a vaccine-preventable illness.
Vanderbilt University's Dr. Isaac Thompson says the measles vaccine is a victim of its own success.
There are now generations, my generation, those with young children who are vulnerable to these diseases who haven't seen this. It's more of a concept in a history book.
The current outbreak has spread to 14 states since beginning in California in mid-December. The CDC is warning parents not to take chances with their children.
I think most parents think measles is gone, but it's forgotten but not gone. And the outbreaks that we're seeing so far this year are a reminder that measles is a plane ride away.
I'm Mary Maloney, reporting.
President Obama unveiled his budget plan on Monday, one that he hopes will meet with the action from Congress.
We've got to put politics aside, pass a budget that funds our national security priorities at home and abroad and gives middle-class families the security they need to get ahead in the new economy.
The $4 trillion spending plan would hike taxes on the richest Americans while boosting middle-class incomes. The 2016 budget proposes a range of measures aimed at helping low and middle-income families. That proposed budget would install new taxes hitting U.S. corporations, using loopholes to dodge paying taxes for assets stored overseas. White House officials say the president will also propose an extra $478 billion for transportation spending.
Whitney Houston's daughter, Bobby Christina, is in a medically induced coma after being found unresponsive over the weekend. The 21-year-old was found unresponsive in a bathtub Saturday morning by her husband and friend. According to police, Brown was not breathing. Police performed life-saving measures on the scene, and she was taken by an ambulance to a hospital and was reportedly breathing. The unexplained medical emergency comes nearly 3 years after Whitney Houston died in a bathtub at the Beverly Hilton Hotel on February 11th.
It's so unfortunate. A former Power Ranger is accused of killing his roommate. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department says 36-year-old Ricardo Medina Jr. was arrested on Saturday after stabbing roommate Joshua Sutter with a sword. Authorities say the two were fighting when Sutter forced his way into Medina's bedroom. That's when they say Medina stabbed Sutter once in the abdomen. Sutter later died at the hospital.
While the sports world focused their attention this weekend on Arizona and the Super Bowl, halfway around the world, the United Arab Emirates American football is making a cultural play. CNN's Amir Deftari has more.
Supporting from the sidelines of a sports field, this Emirati family watches a game not usually associated with the UAE. American football has touched down in the country and it's thriving, especially amongst the locals.
The feeling you get when you just start running down the field with the ball and there's someone in front of you and you just know you can make it past them.
Abdullah started playing just a few months ago, but he already says he'd like to become a professional and one day maybe even play in the NFL. And he's got a lot of backing.
My family likes it because they think it's good for me to have sports, and a lot of my friends want to join as well because they find it cool that I'm doing something unique and different.
It may be unique and different, but since it kicked off around 2 years ago, the Emirates American Football League has faced quite a few obstacles.
One of our biggest challenges was just getting equipment. Nobody around here sells equipment, so we had to go into the United States, ship it out, everything from mouth guards down to shoes. Everything had to be shipped in. At the beginning, 2 more challenges were officials. Not many officials happened to be in the Middle East, but also coaches. We had, I think, 7 coaches 2.5 years ago, and now we've got 53. So it was a little bit of just putting the call out to the community to say, we really need some help, and they showed up en masse.
And involving the community is a key strategy for General Manager Dustin Chernansky. Not surprising then that, like the UAE itself, the league is incredibly diverse.
I would say about 1/3 of our athletes are from the United States and Canada, and the rest from everywhere else. And it's really amazing. The thing that we hear over and over from these new nationalities that are playing is, I've always wanted to play. I've always wanted to try American football. So that's where we are. We're the opportunity for some of these guys to get a taste of authentic American football.
American football in the UAE is still very much in its infancy, but with the enthusiasm I've seen both on and off the field, this all-American sport seems certain to feature on the Emirati landscape for years to come. And for football players from the UAE, the American dream is very much alive and kicking. Amir Deftari, CNN, Abu Dhabi.
Well, it's that time of year again. Puxatani Phil made his annual prediction on Monday. And if you're a fan of an early spring, well, you may be disappointed.
Hi, Punchy Phil. I'm still your best bet. Yes, a shadow I see. You can start the Twitter. Hashtag 6 more weeks of winter.
And Phil emerged from Gobbler's Knob Monday morning and saw his shadow, meaning we are in for another 6 weeks of winter. Since the first Groundhog's Day prediction in 1887, Phil has seen his shadow 101 times and has not seen it 17 times. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says Groundhog Day originated as an ancient celebration of the midpoint between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. I'm disappointed.
I am too. I'm ready for spring. But is Phil actually right? And we'll just have to see if we're going to get another 6 weeks of winter. Rachel Duensing is coming up after the break with her full Storm Shield weather forecast. Stay with us.
On a campus plagued with terrible weather, Valpo students suffer from boredom with no motivation to leave their room. They begin to search for free movies and stumble upon Valpo's new free movie streaming website, where you get unlimited free access to recent movies like Despicable Me 2 and Jobs at the tips of your fingers. So if you're feeling bored, then don't wait. Grab some friends, find a seat, and enjoy a movie on movies.valpo.edu.
For over 100 years, VU has trusted the torch for reliable and accurate accounts of campus happenings. And with an end of a century, we would like to say thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Valpo.
We have been covering stories that will impact you both in print and online. For Players Spotlight and next week events, to the opinions you have, count on us as Valpo's most reliable source for campus happenings. 4-time winner of College Weekly of the Year, The Torch, home of the truth, celebrating 100 years of excellence in journalism.
Well, the snow made campus and the surrounding areas look like a beautiful winter wonderland as long as you didn't have to be out inside it. If you were like me and your car was a little bit stuck by the snow and so many others across the region, this may be a little bit of a salt in the wound, but you can't deny that this is a beautiful picture. This coming from one of our VUTV Weather Facebook fans, Erica Walker-Mitchell, so definitely thank you to her for that. But unfortunately, we will be seeing some more snow. We actually saw snow this afternoon and this evening, but that snow will be ending by the time we head into tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. But unfortunately, we will be on a bit of a roller coaster ride when it comes to temperatures, and we just cannot escape the snow as we are experiencing yet another system moving in by the time we head into this weekend. And that looks like is going to bring not only snow, but a little bit of a wintry mix as well. I'll have all the details about that coming up here very shortly. Now, the temperatures that we saw today, that high came in around 25 degrees, but look at this overnight low temperature of -4. That is only 1 degree off of that low temperature record of -5. And that was set back in 2011. 2011 was yet another cold winter that we experienced very similar to what we saw last winter. But unfortunately, at least in my point of view, we are nowhere near that high temperature record of 48 degrees set back in 2003. We're still experiencing a bit of snow activity so far this evening. You see that here on RPM forecast model. And then as we put this into motion, you see we're going to experience just a few flurries tonight, but then some more snow is going to move in by late tomorrow morning and early tomorrow afternoon. You see that here around 11 a.m. and that will remain for the next few hours. And then by 6 o'clock, it will be moving out of the region, just leaving around a few clouds. We could experience a few more flurries Wednesday night into early Thursday morning, but we're not experiencing any significant snowfall out of this. And speaking of snowfall, we are not experiencing much out of the system. You see only around 1/10 of an inch has fallen so far. And as we put this model into motion as well, you see even throughout the entire event, so all day tomorrow, we're only experiencing about 2.5 inches. So many of us are very thankful that we are not seeing another 20 inches of snow. 2.5 doesn't seem that bad on top of what we experienced just last weekend. Temperature-wise, it is going to be very cold. I mentioned that we are going to be experiencing roller coaster temperatures. This evening, we will be sitting at around 30 degrees, and then we will warm up actually to around 31 degrees, and that will actually be our high temperature for Wednesday, coming in just after midnight, and then those temperatures will come crashing down throughout the entire day, and that cold air will remain as we head into Thursday. You see the high temperature on Thursday only around 14 degrees, so some very cold air is settling into our region. Tonight, 28 degrees with a little bit of light snow, southwest winds at around 10 miles per hour. And then tomorrow, I mentioned before, 31 degrees, and then those temperatures will begin to decrease. Mentioned before, that will occur by the time we head around the midnight hour. Winds shifting out of northwest at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. And roller coaster temperature. Does anyone take a trip to Six Flags? Because that's kind of what these temperatures are reminding me of. by the time we head into Thursday. Very cold day, mostly sunny conditions, but again, high temperature only around 16 degrees. Friday warming up slightly, if you can call it that, very close to normal, 32 degrees under some mostly cloudy conditions. Saturday though, 35 degrees, a little bit of freezing rain, mostly cloudy conditions. Then Sunday, another roller coaster, 34 degrees for that high temperature occurring very early in the morning and just dropping off throughout the day. Going to be a very cold day, not looking forward to it, but that's winter in Northwest Indiana.
So we're probably still seeing another 6 weeks of winter, from what it seems like the next week at least.
I definitely think we're going to be experiencing at least another 6 weeks winter.
What's the reason, and maybe not totally meteorological, but the reason why we're falling, like we're in the 30s and then falling down to 16?
It's just the way of these systems that are coming in. We experience a lot of Alberta clippers and some very strong cold fronts associated with them, and it's just the nature of the beast as it comes into our region.
All right, well, thank you, Rachel. Coming up after the break, Parker Gatewood will join us for a look at a crazy week in Crusader athletics. Stay with us.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dick Vitale of ESPN, and I'm on VUTV. It's awesome, baby, with a capital A.
And now joining us in the studio is our very own sports director, Parker Gatewood. We had a pretty exciting week in Valpo Athletics.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Thank you, Ricky. After a devastating loss to Green Bay last Friday, the Crusader spirits were crushed. A feeling that was similar to last year when they made an early exit in the Horizon League tournament to Milwaukee. And while the Crusaders have a couple weeks before they get another shot at Green Bay, their long-awaited rematch with Milwaukee took place this past Monday. Here we go right to the action. Peters looking for the Shield down low, but instead finds Tavon Walker for the three in the corner. Walker finished with 10 points. Crusaders down 9 at that point. Next possession we go. This time it's Darian Walker with the jumper. This one off the mark, but Alec Peters there for the rebound and the putback. The Crusaders led 30-5 at this point. We go to the second half and it was still all Valpo. Again, it's Walker to Peters. One more time, Peters for three. Not too shabby a night for him. 24 points and 6 boards. Crusaders up 26. And now the big play of the game. It was designed for the big man. Vashil Fernandez going up top and throwing it down. Coming in like Jaws. Brett Prahl's going to need therapy after that one. Crusaders win 73-48. Well, I'll tell you what. The men followed their impressive win by extending their streak to 2. They defeated UIC in what turned out to be a very, very close contest. The Crusaders were battling back and forth and were up by 18 early in the second half, but 30 seconds left to play in the game. It was only a 2-point game, but thanks to the fantastic clutch free throw shooting of Tavon Walker and Darian Walker, the Crusaders were able to pull it out. Well, let's switch gears now and talk some women's basketball. We'll go over to the girls' side of things here, and the Crusaders had a very difficult task facing them right in the face. And not talking about a math test here, but they definitely had a tough one when they were going up against the Green Bay Phoenix. And I'm talking about a team that was first in the Horizon League, and they were undefeated in Horizon League play. The Crusaders looked to give them their first loss of Horizon League play in front of the home fans. To the action we go. Green Bay, great ball movement here. It's going to be Allie LeClaire with the 3 ball, but Valpo would not go away. Their deficit was 11 at this point. Now we go just under 10 minutes left to play. Valpo still down 11 until Jess Carr looks in the corner for Lexi Miller, who cans the triple. She finished with 7 points. Crusaders cut the lead back to 8, but the Phoenix stayed in control throughout the game. 6 minutes left in the first half. It's Kaylee Lucan doing her best Elvis impersonation. Hits Sharon with the shake, gets the rattle, and the roll. Just too much for Valpo. 2 minutes left in the game, and again we see tremendous ball movement by the Phoenix. It leads to a Jessica Lindstrom three-pointer. That one is good. That would ice the game, and Valpo falls to Green Bay 67-52. Well, the girls will be on the road for their next couple of games here, and it is going to be a tough one as they will travel to Detroit first, and then they will match up with Wright State in the later part of the week. Well, that's going to about wrap things up for sports, but to catch every dunk, every free throw, and every hesitation crossover, remember to stay connected at ValpoAthletics.com, guys. Back to you.
Exciting. We could just hear it, how exciting it is. That's really awesome. And then I heard there was just the fan turnout for the home games this week.
Oh, sure.
It was amazing.
They're great. The alumni are fantastic. And it really what it boils down to is that people rally around sports, and that's what they do on this campus. And it's really a joy.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Stay with us. Rachel's next.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's the better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it...
If dying young won't change your mind, baby,
Broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
For over 100 years, VU has trusted the torch for reliable and accurate accounts of campus happenings. And with an end of a century, we would like to say thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Valpo.
We have been covering stories that will impact you both in print and online. For Player Spotlight and next week events, to the opinions you have, count on us as Valpo's most reliable source for campus happenings. 4-time winner of College Weekly of the Year, The Torch, home of the truth, celebrating 100 years of excellence in journalism. And now our very own Rachel Duensing joins us for a final look at your Valpo weather forecast. Rachel, it's been a really crazy week in Valpo weather, not even just here, but I mean, we've talked about this for the past week now, just some crazy snowstorms across the East Coast, and now finally seeing our own fair share of the winter weather here this
most
past week.
definitely. I think I agree with most Valpo students who are probably happy that the snow is coming to an end. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, we will be seeing a bit of snow as we head into this weekend. Tonight, though, we could see a little bit of that light snow, 28 degrees for that temperature, southwest winds at around 10 miles per hour. Temperatures will warm up to around 31 degrees, but unfortunately, that high temperature will occur just after midnight. After that, temperatures will come crashing down. northwest winds at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Then that roller coaster just continues. Thursday, high temperature of only 16 degrees. Friday, 35, as well as Saturday. Sunday, 34, but again, don't let that fool you. Temperatures just crashing back down.
Does it look to be even colder past Sunday?
As of right now, it's looking pretty chilly. So.
A lot of indoor sporting events we got going on. What we got going on?
Well, I
this
mean,
week?
it's, you know, basketball. It's the time of the year, so thankfully not outdoors, but no, absolutely, it's a good time for sports always.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. And again, you can get the latest in anything Valpo related of our very own original programming. Just log on to youtube.com/ValpoVUTV. Be sure to check the latest in movies as well at movies.valpo.edu. We'll be back here next week for the latest in news, weather, and sports. For all of us here at VUTV, I'm Ricky Cody. Have a great week.